Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live session. Welcome to my live session. Today the topic is Valley. I thought I'll stand. I have this entire wall as a screen. I thought I'll stand over there, but too many agents. I like my private space. Okay, it's a lot of action on Instagram. I'm going live on two platforms. So there's this. They've got YouTube on my left, and I've got Insta on my right. So it's quite exciting. Um, the idea is we're going to discuss Valley. I've got the master plan below. I don't know if it's very clear. If not, oh my God, Insta's on fire. I mean, normally YouTube's on fire, so that's why today I was contemplating whether I should go for an Insta live or not. But the fact that Insta's on fire is pretty phenomenal. This is awesome. Awesome. Wow. So we're going to talk about Valley. That's the idea. If you have any questions, um, that's all. Why I believe Valley is a phenomenal investment. That's the topic of the day. Um, and I'm here to answer any and every of your questions. What are you talking about? Harvey Specter. We are talking about the Valley. There's a new launch called Ravana. I know it's not very clear. Maybe for Insta, I could go this way. Wouldn't work. Okay. So we're talking about a project called Ravana at the Valley, the Club Villas by Emaar. So it's quite a phenomenal launch. It's a platform where people could actually make some serious money. It's one of those products where Emaar consultants or Emaar staff themselves buy. So when it is a product that staff themselves buy, we hold a lot of value to it. Where? Yeah, there is a problem with Instagram. But I figured that I could probably send it across, in case someone wants to know more details. But you get the idea, right? How it looks like. You get the idea about the lakes, the Golden Beach. You have a basic idea. That's the whole plan. And then, of course, if anyone has questions. Hi, Leroy. How are you? You too. Put filters on Instagram, so Instagram looks really cool. And then I have to see my reality on YouTube. सर जी की हाल है पाजी पाजी आप आ रहे हो ना आप आ रहे हो ना मंडे मैं एक्चुअली आपको मैंने इसलिए नहीं भेजा चीजें क्योंकि मैंने सोचा आप आ रहे हैं मंडे को फिर हम डिस्कस करेंगे अपॉर्चुनिटी लेकिन कमाल की चीज है जो नया उन्होंने लॉन्च किया ना रिवाना करके वैली में उसमें लेक है एक्सेस टू गोल्डन बीच बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है ना उसका लोकेशन जो उन्होंने की है it's really nice. I'm sorry, I was speaking to an investor. I don't want to disclose his name. Lekin one of my investors have actually come onto the live, so I didn't actually send him. So he's bought in Raven Ranches 3. And he's asked me to keep him connected with new opportunities, but he's coming down on Monday. So I thought I'll speak to him. So Paji, basically, बड़े अच्छे flow plans है इसमें. Oh, here we go. Thank you. Okay, a comment by engineering. Thank you for the value you bring to your audience. Question: don't you think that developers are now on a reins to launch and deploy units in such a fast pace, which it may refer to they know something about the market and they want to sell as many units as they can? And that's a good point. Actually, I had a very detailed chat from somebody from the UK, so there are so many conspiracy theories revolving around world conspiracy theories related to WHO, BlackRock. I get it. There are too many launches. Yes. But are people making money? Yes. Are prices increasing? Yes. Are people losing money? Yes. So, for example, some products make absolutely no sense. So, yesterday I had an investor from US or UK? US. He was convinced on a product in Arjan. Convinced. He was like, Zohaib, I'm sending you the money. I told him, don't buy. And he's like, why? I'm like, it's a one bed at 1.4 million dirhams in Arjan. It does not make sense. I'm like, don't go for it. And he was like surprised, like, Zohaib, you're the first consultant who has mentioned to me, don't buy something. I'm like, don't buy it. The price doesn't make sense. A studio was going between 800 and 900,000, almost 1,800 dirham per square foot was the price. But in Arjan, and Arjan does not make sense to me as a community. It's not like exactly a full-fledged community. So I told him, don't buy. Um, but see, as long as you see property is a good investment. It's a tangible investment. What are your investment options right now? You've got stocks, mutual funds, crypto, real estate, or unless you're doing your own business. But businesses also achieve what, 4.5% realistically, unless you're doing a phenomenal business. But on a very realistic fashion, you earn around 4.5% returns. So when you have a phenomenal opportunity now, Dubai is so strategically located at this stage, where I know it's sad, but where the entire world is going through some sort of a default. Dubai has become that sort of a haven, like a Monaco, where there's the buzz, you can make money. It's there's no restrictions, no tax restriction. I mean, there's no cap. In other countries, the government gets into your account, they get into your money. They want to place a cap. Over here, there's no cap. It's non-capable income. You can make crazy money in Dubai, and they're happy about it. They're like, it's a capitalist economy. They're like, okay, go ahead, make money. So we can have more short-term driven plans, but as long, but it's better to have a plan, right? You need to have some sort of a plan. So today I met an investor from the UK. She's bought in. Hi Judy, so nice meeting you. I'm in love. So nice, so nice meeting her. So I know you'll be watching this. So it was amazing, amazing meeting you. Very spiritual person. So we were having these discussions, about this whole phenomenon, right? Like, will something happen? Because she has invested in Dubai Hills, in Nakhil, the residences project in the valley. She strongly believes in Emaar. She's made money out of Emaar. So she's very happy. She had invested previously in Victory Heights as well, and she almost doubled her income. Bought it somewhere around 2.5, sold it around 5.5 million. So she's uh, a seasoned investor, who understands the business. Now, and I that's what I so whenever I meet such people, I'm like, you should join in as a consultant, because I personally believe that only if you personally invest yourself, you're eligible to give advice to other investors. Because if you don't invest yourself, then you understand the pros, cons, benefits, negatives, how the process is, which developer do you work with, so it it makes a huge difference when you invest yourself. So we had this similar conversation, and it just makes sense. Okay, I hope I answered the question. Engineering, I really enjoyed the question. It was a very deep question. Did enjoy that question. um, I hope. Am I missing any question on Instagram? If anyone asks a question, please do let me know. Yeah? Okay. So Adil Khan, do you see an oversupply of villas and townhouses being delivered in around 2026 and 2027? Yes. Yes. There is an oversupply in certain regions. I think Hessa Street is oversupplied. I don't think the infrastructure manages it. But then this entire street, where, let's say, you have. Okay, I'll just explain it to you, because I know which is the screen is mirroring. But that entire street where there's right opposite Global Village, the Emirates Road, where there's the villa, and I think you've got the villa, Arabian Ranches 3. The plot next to it, Shobha is doing a joint venture with Galadari, right? So that's around 8 million square foot. The plot next to that, Aldar, this is the Emaar of Dubai, they have bought it. So it's a 6 lane road. It's easy to move, from Arabian Ranches 3. Actually, it's quite easy to move around, right? Dubai. So to reach downtown, it takes about 20 minutes because the road is empty. So I think when there's so much of traffic in that section, people would either opt to move towards Dubai South or they'll opt to move towards the northern side, which is the Valley, Ranches Street, the Villa, those communities, because nobody likes traffic in Dubai. Nobody enjoys it. So if you have an option, because you've got the schools, the infrastructure, the academic city, everything right there, and it always makes sense when you track these major developers like Emaar, like Nakheel, like Dubai Holdings, RTA. You track them, you sort of understand the plan of Dubai. See, Vision 2040 is happening. It's a reality. I'm supposed to make a video about 7 mega projects. Your mind will be blown. Palm Jubilee is just the beginning. URB is coming up with several sustainable city models, phenomenal projects. So the where the 420 million penthouse sold is an area called Jumana Island. It's called Dubai Reefs. The name has not been finalized. But what people may not know is that MGM is also invested into this location. It's a big factor. See, having big groups from Las Vegas coming and investing into Dubai is big. It's big. It's never happened before. Americans never stepped out of their turf. They were very, very proud. They were like, "We are Americans," but now the game is changing, right? So the game is changing. The world is coming to Dubai. They're coming to either Dubai or Singapore. So if you study the millionaire migration, so 6,500 millionaires are moved out of India, 13,000 millionaires are moved out of China, 3,200 millionaires out of the UK. Now, all these people are going to either Dubai or Singapore because they're very, very safe, stable economies, safe for their children, for their families. So, a huge shift. What Dubai has seen is that now the investors who are coming, they're not coming as an investor, they're coming as an end user. They're coming to stay. That's why these villas are selling, and that's why now Emaar, they're building these bigger floor plans. I've never seen a floor plan like this. It's big. A 3 bed, a 3,200 square foot is a big floor plan. So it's nice. I see what you mean, but when the FED is expecting 70% recession in later this year or beginning of next year, this must be taken under serious talk. See, I understand, but where do people go? I was having a discussion with an investor, and this is one investor, right? Who's like, so if you study what's happening in DIFC, I don't know if many people know this, but DIFC is governed by the British courts, right? Courts from the UK. So it's packed. So family offices, institutional offices are moving from the UK to Dubai. Now, each family office, the investment value that we're talking about is somewhere around but an average financial office family office that I've spoken to, they're saying that they want to move 100 to 500 million dollars in the next 4 to 5 years. And this is just one office that we're talking about. Funds have to move. It has to be mobile. They need a country. They need a space where they can live comfortably and function. Business has to keep going, right? The world cannot stop. Where do they go? Right now in the US and the UK, the crime rates have gone so high, violence has gone so high, and then of course you have these issues like rise of the LGBT community, which people don't talk about a lot. But this situation, it does. Oh, it's fine, brother. So this situation is serious, right? So where do people go from Europe? Now I'll give you a typical example. In Germany, so I have a friend, a client. He owns around 10,000 hectares of land in Germany. Brilliant business model, right? He buys large agricultural lands, starts building windmills on them or solar projects, develops energy, sells the energy to the government, but he's bought the land as farmland, and then it becomes like a commercial land. So he understands the concept of real estate. It goes hand in hand. So he's into sustainable energy, but real estate goes hand in hand. So he explained this formula to me. He was like, see, so hey, 30%, I'm just explaining Germany, and this model can be translated towards other countries as well. He's like, so hey, 30% of Germany are rich, 30% are middle class. Now, this entire 60% are investors because they're rich. They can, only difference is that, of course, the value on which they invest may differ. I need to have a call with them. I've been invited to Germany this September, so I might be doing a roadshow in Germany in September, but that's not important. Point is that 40% are poor. Now, this 40% lives off the government, right? So the 60% believe that they are paying for the 40% to sit at home and play video games because they're taken care of, right? So, and now they're frustrated because they're like, we work really hard for this money and we don't want to fund that 40%. The government is being unfair towards us because we are paying all the taxes. So this formula, 30% rich, 30% middle class, 40% poor, is going around the European sort of Union, UK and US. All of them are frustrated and they need a place where they can live, work, function peacefully. And Dubai and Singapore are phenomenal spots. How much do you expect rents to be for the Eden phase 3 bedroom? Now, Eden was released at a time where, Damak Koya got very popular, Nashama Town Square got very popular. It was around that, 2019, 2020. Sorry, Eden was 2021, right? The market hadn't picked as much. So the popular market, Dubai was targeting the 60% working class, right? A person who has a salary between 25 to 40,000 rooms, he could easily buy a property in Eden. So the floor plans are quite restricted, you know. But despite of which, it'll be very very it's an Emaar community. Communities always hold value. I think you would still be able to achieve anywhere from 105 to 120,000 initially, and as when the community grows. So like Maple in Dubai Hills, initially the rents were 100, 105, 110, 115,000. Today it's the same 3 bed Maple has gone up to 205 easy. So it'll be the same situation with Eden as well. Ravana, please comment on Rivana and the and Emaar Valley. So this is what I mentioned. I think Rivana, Emaar has come up with a phenomenal product. Club villas have always been a favorite. If you study the club villas in Dubai Hills, the prices have touched up to 7.3, 7.5, 8 million. So it's right now we get the opportunity to invest somewhere at half the value. Even if we go conservative, we're looking at an appreciation of at least towards the 5 to 5.5 million mark. So the challenge over here would be actually getting a unit. So today I had a couple of people give checks for 3 beds. So Emaar stuff like, don't give us 3 beds. You're not going to get 3 beds. You're not going to get 3 beds. Try for 4 beds or 5 beds because they're very very limited 3 bedroom villas. So they're like, don't give us the 3 beds. Let us know about 4 beds. And then don't tell about 5 beds also because 5 beds also very limited. It'll get sold out. So the game is almost like just getting the unit. It's become the game. If you get the unit, your trading opportunity begins. So yes, so Ravana as well is a club villa. So what's with the club villa is let me show if I have a model over here. Um, I do it have my WhatsApp. In a sec. So here we go. It opens. So see now, so this is how. Am I blocking it? Can you see? This is how a club villa sort of looks. Um, so it's like two corner units, right? It's not a typical where you have this back-to-back villas. So let's say example in spring, you have a middle unit and you have an end unit. So you have two middle units, they're connected. So these are called semi-detached townhouses. They're not attached, they're semi-detached townhouses. So it's quite very interesting layout. So what happens when you have a semi-detached townhouse is that you have a bigger garden space. You have the possibilities of even having a pool, as you can see. You have possibilities of even having a pool. Um, the interior space is much bigger, so it's actually a functional property. Hey bro, are you in real estate for how many years and are you the owner of experience? No, I'm not the owner of experience. I stopped so I stopped owning a company or running a company because it's too much of a headache. I'm not a businessman, I'm a salesperson. There's a big difference. Being an entrepreneur and being a salesperson are two completely different things. So I figured I don't want to run a system. I want to be part of a very strong system, a very politically connected, a very financially stable system. So experience is an extremely strong system. So we got mostly ex-Emaar staff as well as the top management. So they really understand the process, they understand the business. So it makes life very convenient. So a question by Rafnas Mahmood. What do you say to a client when you don't get a unit? Be it apartment, townhouse or villa, don't they get pissed off? I say Alhamdulillah. I always say Alhamdulillah. If you get a unit, Alhamdulillah. If you don't get a unit, Alhamdulillah. Means it was not meant for you. We look at other options. So you should always have a positive mindset. You can't cry over anything. It's Alhamdulillah. Man. We'll look at next opportunity. It's a good opportunity if God willing, we'll get the unit. Mocho, 3 bed for the Ravana, 3 bed or 4 bed. What's my choice? If you see the master plan, so this is the master plan, right? Of Valley. You can see it behind me because that's the master plan. Let me. So saw this lake. So this is a lake feature, right? So Emaar has come up with this sort of. Can I stand up? Nice. Okay, so Emaar has come up with this little lake feature, right? So the 5 beds facing the lake and the 4 beds face the lake. Okay, so 5 beds face the lake and the 4 beds face the lake. So any one of those units are quite interesting. The 3 beds don't, but if you don't face the lake, the other option is, I'll tell you. You have. Where's the cluster map? Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, so if you see the map, it's not very clear over there. I know it's not very clear, but it's fine. I'll give you an idea. So over here, you have this golden beach. In this section, let's say the crossing some homes. You have the golden beach over here. You have the community pool area over here. You have this community center. You have this huge sports park, like a sports stadium out here. So either if you're looking for a 3 bed, it should have this access to the golden beach, or any property on the lake. Any property on the lake will be phenomenal. See a lake by Emaar. I don't know if you're familiar with springs or meadows. If you see the properties on the lake, always hold a value and always has a demand. It's just beautiful. It's nice. Wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, face the lake. Good life. Eh? Anajit, what's up? Jeff, thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. It's okay. Don't you think that South will have more potential because of Palm Jebel Ali development? See now, this is not a problem, okay? But every time It's like, see, let's take Palm Jumeirah. Okay, so okay, so the question is, it's a very good question. So I want both platforms. Question is, don't you think that Dubai South will have more potential because of the Palm Jebel Ali development? Excellent question. Must be an investor. You actually now you differentiate between when an actual investor asks a question and there's a difference. Anyway, just point is, Palm Jumeirah happened, right? What's in front of Palm Jumeirah? You have Dubai Marina, you have JLT, you have hills, you have the greens, you have Barsha, you have Tecom, all these areas, right? You cannot exactly see. JLT did not pick as much as Dubai Marina. Dubai Marina itself, there are buildings that didn't pick as did as well. Did like Manchester. You cannot compare a Manchester tower and a Jumeirah Gate. Then you can't compare. Greens did really well initially, but now Greens, at the whole, it's kind of dropped down. It became like a Nokia. So just because Palm Jebel Ali is happening, so now using Palm Jebel Ali, people are selling plots in Jebel Ali Hills. They're selling Emaar South. Emaar South is like, I don't know, 50 kilometers away. Like there is potential. I'm saying that entire zone has a lot of potential. I'm not saying it's a bad investment, but I think it's more long term. It goes towards 8 to 10 years. Because see, in 8 to 10 years, so I'm going to make a video saying seven mega projects. When you see the seven mega projects that are coming, you'll feel like, okay, Palm Jebel Ali is one of the seven mega projects, six others. So you cannot. Palm Jebel Ali will be great for people who invest in Palm Jebel Ali and they wait for the next 8 to 10 years, or at least 6 to 8 years. But there's no connection between Emaar South or Dubai South and Palm Jebel Ali. You should look at that independently, and you should look at Palm Jebel Ali independently. Basically, you should be very specific when it comes to investment. Does that make sense? Walaikum Assalam, Shahid. Web, I want a job. I'm from the UK. Brother, send me your CV, brother. I'll forward it to my HR. Why not, Maybe. Walaikum Assalam. So it makes sense, right? Sadiq sir, I hope it makes sense to you. How long have I been an agent? I started real estate in 2009, but I was blessed to start with a very good firm. It's Hamptons. So Hamptons actually trains. It's not a random. Okay, will Farm Garden face and the question? Will the Farm Gardens phase and Ravana will raise the value of value a value project in terms of ROI? Of course. Why did Dubai Hills get so much of hype? When a villa sold for 120 million dirhams for the first time, the most expensive villa of that year or that quarter was in Dubai Hills, because there's always either Emirates Hills or Palm Jumeirah, right? It's always Emirates Hills or Palm Jumeirah. Now it was Jumana Island, the 420 million penthouse Jumana Island, but then Dubai Hills got a lot of hype after 120 million villa got sold in Dubai Hills. People made, and then Dubai Hills is just a really really nice addition. So it's just a really really nice community. The mall helped as well, but primarily it is just the infrastructure. The infrastructure really helped. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Mr. Nair. Thank you so much for your message. I love positive messages. It makes me very happy. Will this impact the price of Orania positively? See, it's like asking because what's the name? Parkside or fairways in Dubai Hills came up. Will it affect Maple? Of course, it will affect Maple. The infrastructure is in place. That's why I keep telling, find the right master developer because you won't lose your money because their infrastructure is so good. Why I took an office in Dubai Hills because the infrastructure is phenomenal, and it'll be the same, will be replicated in any. You cannot find a bad Emaar community. Is it a bad Emaar community? Okay. And he goes live, JT, my man, my woman. I don't know who you are, but I love your comments. You make my day. Most of my days, you make my day. Every morning I wake up, I see the comments, and I'm like, JT. Thank you, JT. I love you, man. Okay, so how long do you think the current market upward trend will go on? With the upward trend and rising rentals, how will it affect the real estate? It's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know. See, Singapore has touched $12,000 per square foot. We are at $1,500 because I think the most expensive property currently selling, like on a larger scale. I'm not talking about like Dorchester or Bulgaria. I'm talking about regular communities. Beachfront touched 6,000 dirham per square foot. I think that's been like a large scale most expensive that Dubai has touched. So we have a long way to go, right? We can go. I'm seeing prices can go all the way up to 10,000 dirham per square foot. It has the potential, depending on the area. For example, Creek Harbor. Creek Harbor has the potential to go. Creek Harbor has the potential to go up to, let's say, $1,000 plus. 4,000, 5,000 dirham per square foot has the potential. So each community you can beachfront has the potential to go up to 10,000, considering the fact of the market in blue waters. Then that entire stretch, the Golden Belt has a lot of potential. Zurich collections. How much appreciation we can expect in 2027? So, depending on which investment, but for example, if you're discussing Ravana, I'm expecting the price to go. If you're investing around 3.5 for a 4 bed, it can go up to 5.5 million. That's the expectation. What do you expect the value of Bliss once completed? Now, Bliss, bless me. Bliss is quite exciting, right? Because it has that entire Greek vibe. But I expect a minimum 35-40% appreciation in Bliss. Orania are the 2,000 square foot, and the one is for 3,200 for 3 beds. Yes, that's the catch, right? So Eden, the same issue, right? Eden also 3 beds were quite small sized. What size are your feet? Eh? Okay. Okay. So, funny comments on Instagram. Okay. So, Rania, yes. So, Tarun, there was in 2021 there was a trend of low cost housing, but now we are entering a trend of high cost housing because we are trying to cater to the HNIs and the ultra HNIs that come to Dubai from Europe, UK, US, Singapore, China, Hong Kong, Korea, Japan, India, Pakistan. So, in order to accommodate them, they're not happy with small houses. They need big houses. So now we're catering to a different audience. Creek Waters 2. Creek Waters 2 can go, like I've mentioned, all the way up to. So I sold some penthouse in Creek Waters 2 because I think it was phenomenally priced. It was like 6.2, between 6.2 and 6.8 million. I think the prices can go up to 8 million, and can maybe even go up to 11 million. So, what do you think the value of Bliss in AR3? Mr. Rahman, if you can send me the floor plan, I need to understand the location in the master plan. Like, see, over here, the value of a property that's located here and a property located here, there'll be a difference, So it depends on the location, the master plan, the floor plan. If you send it across to me, I can give you a fair valuation. Can Mr. Nair, okay, Tarun has the question: can an investor make money on booking the unit itself? I mean, book and flip. No. See, now that's called speculation. So speculation has been completely stopped. So the minimum, that's why with a big developer like Emaar, the payment plan is aggressive, but that filters out the trash. Trash is a harsh word, but that really filters out. It brings in the serious investors into the business, which is good for the whole ecosystem, right? So you got an entire ecosystem of investors. That's why I enjoy the process with Emaar. So when so when so the minimum we're looking at 14%. That's 4% DLD, 10% to book. Because it's $10,000, but 24 hours, 10%, and then 4%. But after 2 months, you got that 2 month span. So in one case, one of the investors we're dealing with today, that's the situation. They bought in Eden, they need to sell it and then pay the rest of the money, So we are on a very short call here. So we've got about 2 months time to sell the Eden and then continue the payments with the Riva. So we have gone to an agreement where, we're like, we'll buy a 3 bed and then we'll try and upgrade to a 4 bed. So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but actually you can upgrade if there's an availability. You cannot downgrade with the IMA, but you can upgrade. Um, JT, when is Nadal Shiva Gardens Phase 4 launching, and so do you recommend it? See, Nadal Shiva Gardens again, Nakhil, it's safe, See, Nakhil, Miras, both are doing projects in that location, right? In Nadal Shiva. Safe investment. It depends on the property that we look at, the floor plans, location. A couple of factors to be incorporated. But as long as you're working with a good developer, it's as secure as it gets. There are a lot of tenants who have negative feedback to the interior space of Emaar townhouses. I agree, Mr. Jasmine. See, in Arabian Ranches 3, Sun, Joy, and in Eden, there is a complaint about smaller spaces. But you must understand that these properties were started to sell between 1.2 to 1.35 million. So that is why the sizes were small. It was trending in the market, like how Akoya was trending, 1,200 square foot 3 beds. So I understand that there is this complaint, but to rectify that, once they understood the investor demands, that's where they come up with products like these. This is the product that will sell. So uh, that is just what the market trend was, and now the market trend has upgraded. Is it good investment in Creek Waters to 1 bed? Creek Waters to 1 bed. See, in Creek Waters 1, there was a 1 bed that is, I think it was the 06 series, 1606 or 04 series. It was right in the center and it faced the Creek Tower. That was an interesting 1 bed because the rest were facing the park. Now, Creek Waters 2 is a mirror image. So, because it's a mirror image, the 1 bed is facing Creek Waters 1, and then the rest were facing the park. Now, this is the problem with 1 beds at Emaar. We'll be very, very careful. A good 1 bed investment in a funny way is another developer. There's Omniath is coming up the project, Anwar 2. So if you study Maritime City, 1 beds are renting out, a fully furnished 1 bed will rent out at around 120,000 dirhams. Fully furnished. If it's unfurnished, it's 80 to 90,000 dirhams. So they're selling at 1.1 million full CV apartment. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Take it and go. There's nothing better. 1 bed, nothing better. If I buy a 4 BHK in AR3 garden facing now, how much appreciation can I? Which AR3? Urban Ranch 3 is huge, my friend. Mohammed Jafir, if you buy, but if you buy in Ravana, if you buy a 4 BHK facing the lake, it'll go up to 5.56 million. But if you buy, I don't know which cluster in AR3, I can give you an estimate. You didn't. Sorry, Kasvan. I I'm trying. My Insta normally is not very interesting. Today I don't know where my Insta became like very, very like boom. So What do you think about Ricksaw's residency with Nakhil on Dera Island upcoming? It's expensive. It's going to be very expensive. See, I wouldn't buy. See, I'm a conservative investor, so I don't buy it. So that's why in the whole of beachfront address, Bayview made a little bit of sense. One, because it has a brand name address. I didn't pay exorbitant service charges like what happened in Fountain Views or address downtown. I'm not paying for no, I'm not paying 42 dirham per square foot. I'm paying 17 to 19 dirham per square foot, and it's fully furnished. So that's the only product that makes sense. I'm very conservative, so I'll study the plans. I'll understand the pricing, and then based on which we can take a call. Townhouse Spring in Raven Ranches 3. Rafiq Danda. If you have to pick up one project at present, which will you advise? At present, I like Ravana. I like the Omniath one that I said. The Alma 2 is very interesting. What rent do you expect? We covered this. Okay. Townhouse Spring in Arabian Ranches 3. Spring is good. Spring has good floor plans. Um, Spring has potential to rise as well. The pricing, a four bed can go up to 4.5, 5. Bro, why Emaar not try to amend their payment plan such a way that buyers can finance the unit via bank after 40 to 60% value rather than 90/10? Yeah, Emaar is trying to maintain a certain level, it's a filtering process, brother. Unfortunately, it's a filtering process. They understand the game, and now Emaar doesn't have to. You know why Emaar projects get sold out on day one? I don't even expect. I have checks. I literally have checks on the table where I don't even expect to get all the units because existing investors are constantly buying, and of course they'll get preference, right? So existing investors are constantly buying with Emaar, and it works. It works for them, So they make money, and they always come back, and that is why I will say, if I don't know if brokers know this, but Iman pays probably the lowest in the market, lowest. Damak, Shoba, Azizi, they pay crazy commissions, But I'm not crazy to sit and sell Ima, It just makes sense to me. That's why I'm sitting down and selling Ema, because it's just a good product, because if the investor makes money, it's a cycle, and they always refer back. If they make money, it always comes back, and then it becomes like an entire club of investors. Um, what do you think about Tilal Al Gaf? See, I was just sitting down with the lady right now. See, there are negative comments on Tilal Al Gaf, on the construction quality. It's just, see, most projects you must understand is a lot of hype. So you should learn. I mean, see, a tenured consultant like me, I can see through the bullshit. Let's put it this way: I see through it. You cannot show me fancy renderings and say, "Oh my God, look at that lagoon! Look at Morocco." I'm not going to fall for it. Because I've been here for a while. I've been doing this for past 15 years. So now I see through it. See, I'm black and white. I'm straightforward. Some people like it. Some people don't like it. The people who I resonate with work with me. And I've reached a position in life where I choose, if you resonate with my thought process, fantastic. So I can be diverted from that, right? Okay, Mocho, the next question. What price can you expect on Rivana on a three-bed regular twin villa, not on the water? See, now I told you, Mocho, if you're doing a regular three-bed, try getting one of these three beds. The ones which have, so there's this little access over here. I don't know, you can't see it. So I'll give you an idea, of how it is. But if you can get access to close to the Golden Beach, so there's a lot of access points to the Golden Beach. So if you get a nice three bed, good location, it will have value. Of course, three beds. This is an end user product. An end user will be very very comfortable. If you study the floor plan, beautiful. It's let me show you the floor plan. Um, so if you study the floor plan, actually there's a nice family area over here. See, so you study the floor plan. So it's kitchen, open plan kitchen. There's a dining room. There's actually living room. There's a beautiful terrace. A nice big sized kitchen, a proper kitchen where you can have a nice family area right in front of it. Even upstairs, I observed when you go upstairs, you not for this. What is the four bedroom? There's here. So there's a little family lounge over here as well. Just a lounge area. So it's a very nice open. It's a plan where a typical family would be very comfortable in sort of settling down. Beautiful floor plan. I really enjoyed. That is why I'm saying investors of Eden came to me saying that okay, let's sell the Eden, let's buy in Ravana because I'm willing to wait because the floor plans are phenomenal. If Emaar restricts flipping a property after booking, then how is it possible to buy Emaar off-plan property from an early investor? No, they don't restrict property after you can buy, but I'm not. You can't do immediately after booking. You have to pay 10%. You have to register the property, and then you can sell it. Um, Adil Khan. Oh, okay. I love you too, bro. What's up, brother? यार I'm going live on YouTube and Insta, so YouTube में थोड़ा ज़्यादा पैसा है वहाँ पे money is there. Okay, so Adil Khan, since now developers are launching bigger layouts in villas and townhouses, how will that impact the per square foot price of smaller units which are built in the last few years? Good, good. I love the questions on Instagram or on YouTube. It's so good, so good, so good. Actually, this is a refreshing session for me. So when I'm live here and I'm talking to investors and audience, it's like a training session for my mind. See now, people who have of course, Adil Khan's up. People who have bought smaller floor plans paid smaller values. So the people who bought in Eden bought it between one point. See, for a live example, I had a client from the UK. She bought a 4 bed, bang on the pool. On the pool, she bought secondary. First buyer bought it at 1.6 million. She bought it at 1.9 million. Now we plan to sell it at 2.5 million. Okay. So the prices were also different. Pre to less priced. So you need to identify the audience. Once you identify the audience, you can sell it or rent it because the value differs. Like let's say a Manchester Tower, a 1 bed will rent out at 40,000 at Marina Gate. Manchester Tower in Dubai Marina, the price will be 800,000 dirhams. A 1 bed in Marina Gate will be 3.5 million dirhams. Everyone stays at their same value. But if you invest into the infrastructure, into the community, it's the experience. So when you invest into the experience, into the community, that's when you face the situation that whether the market goes up or the market goes down, you don't lose your money because you invested into that entire. That's why people who invested into downtown don't lose their money. People who have invested into meadows, into springs, into Arabian ranches, they never get out. They never. It's all end users over there. They never leave. They've upgraded, settled. Their kids have gotten kids, but they're all living over there itself. Because and the market never goes. I've been studying Springs over the last, I don't know, 5-6 years. I love Springs, as a location, but I could never find a good deal. Okay, Mohammed Al Jasmi. I noticed that there's a big mountain in front of the Valley project. Will it negatively affect the project? So Jasmi, that's a dump yard. And I'm so happy, you're very polite to call it a mountain. That was the nicest word called. Normally people call it a dump yard. So it is the dump yard. Clearly, sir, how will Emaar keep a dump yard in front of their project? It's impossible. Of course, they'll clear it. Because that's where the high-end villas are coming. Farm is happening in that section. So as you know, Valley's in two sections, right? You've got one on the right way, you've got the townhouses, you've got the The other side is where the high-end villas are coming. The farmhouses are coming. Of course, that will go. Do you remember Dubai Hills in 2016? It was a mess. Okay, we covered that. Ocho, we go. Hello, hello, Miss Mughal. How are you? I hope you're doing well. How's it going? I look better on Instagram because there are filters over there. If you want to see a nice version of me, you should check me out on Instagram. No filters here. Okay. Questions. This is fun. I really enjoy it when there's like oh. So my wife is here on my life. She constantly supervises me, making sure I'm on track. I think that's a good thing. It's good. You should always find the balance. I think a person who manages to keep a good balance between family and work, if you figure it out. I mean, there's no thing as a perfect balance, but if you actually figure it out, flipping Ravana after how much percentage paid? Uh, you can flip Ravana in 2025. I think that's a fair space to flip it because in 2020, end of this year, once people start moving into Eden, then slowly the hype increases, right? So Sun, you saw the price in Sun. Now, if you try to look for a Sun, it's amazing. It's phenomenal. The people who invest in Sun made crazy money. Yeah, I've got people in the office, who invested into Sun, right? So 1.55 million, you bought Sun. Okay. When they were on handover, they were selling at around 1.92 million, 2.1. Now you won't find it at 2.3. You'll find it around 2.3 million. Imagine a person who invested 1.55. Then the payment plan was also better. You've invested somewhere, even if you invested around 80%, you've invested around 1.2 million and you're making what, close to 800,000 dirhams. It's phenomenal. So what will happen is these people start moving. It'll get functional. People get more accustomed to the value. Around 2025, we can consider flipping it. By then, you've paid around 30%, 30 to 40%, and you can flip it. If you want to flip, yeah, because it's 20% this year, 10% first quarter of next year, so around 30%. Yeah, 40%. At 40%, we can flip it. What is the per square foot price? The per square foot price around the first project of Valley was around 1,000 dirham per square foot. It was the cheapest product ever sold by Emaar. I remember those days. Cheapest product ever sold. So the person who bought the last villa in Eden was my investor. He was from Karachi. He called me yesterday. He's like, I'm flying to Karachi, but I want to buy in Ravana. He's like, I'm thinking I'll sell my Eden and buy in Ravana. So I remember those days, and I negotiated a payment plan for him. It was impossible now, but for him, I negotiated it. I made it a 50-50 payment plan with a 2 year post handover. Now, of course, he loves me. We have a relationship, but I think sometimes I get into discussion, I forget the question completely. Okay, next, Rafa. So, do you take work back home too? I do, but luckily my wife is accustomed to it, and she understands. I think the best approach would be there will very soon be a Mr. and Mrs. Zohaib. So it'll be two. I figure out if it has to work out, so she'll also join the fun, join the game. So Oasis mad sale out it was. What do you think? Even without a briefing, it got sold out. What can it be compared to? So okay, sorry. So it's the same now. Rivana is also being offered a similar. Yes, yes, that's the whole idea, right? The price hasn't changed, but now this is that the layout has grown bigger. That's why I think it's a phenomenal investment. So because these people who bought now this person, I'll give you a very ideal client profile who bought Eden. He has a salary of around 45,000 dirhams. He works for one of the biggest tobacco companies in the world, and he lives in Marina currently, and he wants to move in with his family because his wife is expecting, has a kid. He's already had one kid, second kid expecting. He wants to move into the property, So that's a very typical client profile of Eden. But now everyone's like, okay, if this is coming, why don't I move into this? It's a nice big layout. It's a perfect. So he was not an investor; he was an end user. So so that's why he's now preferring Ravana to Eden. Okay. What can an oasis be compared to? Oasis can be compared to fair parkway vistas of Dubai Hills. Can be compared to that. Do you think Ravana? I told you just. I've got checks on the table, and I don't expect getting the units. I'm like, because it's really good. It's a very good product. 38,000 agents out there, 300 villas. Of course, it'll get sold out quickly. It's a good product. Let's talk about new investors. How much is the ideal investment to start the journey, considering all these high-end products now in the market? How much is the ideal investment? Okay. Let's. I'm presuming the question. What are the lowest product that I've pitched? The lowest product I pitched was a studio in Markasa, Maritime City, full sea view for 880,000 dirhams. Then another product that I pitched was there was a developer called Emaar Developers in JVC. I really liked their products, because they've developed this building called Oxford. They've built two buildings, Oxford. So I checked AirDNA stats. So AirDNA is doing phenomenal. So anytime before I do an investment, I check the stats on AirDNA. AirDNA gives you the exact stats of an Airbnb. I'm a statistics guy. For me, the numbers have to make sense. So Oxford does really well. So they're selling a one bed at 850,000, 50/50 payment plan, phenomenal initial investment product. Now another product around 1 million, Omniath is coming up with an Anwar 2. Again, I love the area. It will 100% appreciate. Full sea view, one bed, 1.1 million dirhams, 60/40 payment plan, potential DLD waiver. It's a no-brainer. So these are some of the low quality products. Not low quality products. Low. It's a good starting product. If, as Wise said, that the trend has changed from small 2,000 square foot townhouse to 3,000 square foot townhouse, can I expect Orania property to be still in demand and be able to fetch good return if in terms of capital appreciation? As you said, we can upgrade from 3-bed hood. Can I switch a 3-bed of Orania to a 4-bed in Ravana? I'll have to get back to you on this. I need to speak to the Emaar management now today because luckily the client was here in the office at the same time. There were some top management officials from Emaar as well, so we could have that conversation. I'll check about this and revert to you. But will it achieve appreciation? Yes. If a community is in demand, for example, Arabian Ranch is one. Just because, let's say, Sahil was a very, very loved cluster, but let's suppose there was some very, very high-end villas sold out in Arabian Ranch. Just one. There were Reem townhouses that were tiny as well, the Reem ones. Now, because Arabian Ranch was such a phenomenal community, of course, Reem took its advantage to the prices increase in Reem. So, if you're a part of a phenomenal ecosystem, you will always have positive impact. There are multiple communities in Dubai where the prices were reduced by 50% between 2016 to 2020. Price in these communities have also started to rise. How do you see these communities for investment? See, for example, I was having that conversation as well. Sports City dropped, Motor City dropped, IMPZ dropped. So these are communities that I can think of that have reduced over 50%. They have dropped. Now, if you venture out into these, see, I don't think there is something called a good deal. If it's low price, there's a reason behind it. Now, to understand a good investment, the best strategy is numbers. A very plain Excel sheet. You get all the numbers onto an Excel sheet, and you'll understand your investment. So a product like that, like I've mentioned, there are tools like AirDNA. It's a tool. We use the tool. We understand the statistics of the particular project, and it has potential, maybe. But right now, the only other community apart from the Emaar community that I can consider, one is JVC, few projects in Furjan. I like the location of Furjan. Maritime City. Maritime City is doing really well. I think Maritime City is fantastic. Very, very huge potential. So these are three examples. And there also you have to further digress. You have to study what's it going out at, what is the long-term rental value, what is the short-term rental value, what are my charges involved, and once you run the numbers, if it makes sense, why not? Okay. What the hell? My trainer. That. Questions, such good questions. No? I think this. Oh, I missed this question. Okay, by engineering, the palace at Dubai Creek is eligible for successful air. Of course, it's eligible. The palace is a phenomenal product. So, in the whole of Creek Harbor, I think the five-star developments are Address and Palace. Four stars Vida, and the rest are regular. Palace is phenomenal. I mean, look at Palace downtown. Look at the rates of Palace downtown. I think a suite, a regular studio suite goes at around what, 2,500 a night. Of course, it's a phenomenal investment. Oh, okay. Sorry. Your question. Okay, normally, Emaar increases its price on every new launch to make the investor better. Why not here in Valley then? So because the square footage increased, right? So now they have to differentiate between the independent villas of farm gardens and the semi-detached townhouses. So now because the size has increased, imagine a 3,200 square foot three bed. If they made it like, I don't know, you can't, right? It's not functional. If I make it anywhere above 1,000 dirham per square foot, it goes to 3.5 million. It's not practical. Seymour is extremely intelligent. Can you imagine the kind of studies before launching Oasis? There was an entire panel who was called in, and we were studying the investor interest. And the panel came out saying that okay, the top preferred villas now are like Park Vistas, Lamborghini villas. So we studied several models, and then based on which a product was designed for the consumer. So this that is why some of these garment developers, they're not like the private ones who are just building to sell, who are unethical. They want you to make money now. Now, I'll give you a live example. This lady who came in today, right? She has a property. She bought it secondary. She bought it a four bed in front of the pool in Eden. 1.6 million was the original price. She bought it at 1.9 million. Now I'll sell it at 2.5 million to the new person. The new person also has potential to make money. Even if he buys a four bed at 2.5 million, he'll still, over the years, he'll also make profit. So that's the whole goal. Everyone has to make money for it to. Why do you think Emaar has evolved to become a giant over the years? It takes guts, it takes diligence, due diligence. You have to be ethical. You cannot just make money. No. But where do they make money? When they build all these communities, these service charges, all of that build in the reputation, so they actually invest to build these phenomenal communities where everyone makes money. So that's the goal of even a real estate office. As long as everyone's making money, everyone's happy. That's the whole plan. This, are you basically from India? Yes, I'm from India. I mean, if your hand, my hand. Why do you think Imperial Avenue down was sold out at an affordable price? But it's just sad. Imperial Avenue is a phenomenal project. So I've sold a lot in Imperial Avenue because I believe in the project. Beautiful. It when Imperial Avenue is on handover, the investors who invested into it is going to make a ball because there's no product like that in downtown. Opera Grand is going to look sad in front of Imperial Avenue. Phenomenal finishes, marble floorings, marble bathrooms, Millie they're upgrading the Millie appliances as well. It's just it's amazing, you know. So, so I made a series called 100% ROI. Emaar Consultants bought in Imperial Avenue. So people are going to make a minimum million dirhams in profit when they invest into Imperial, you know. So phenomenal investment. I have no idea why. So there was so many negative hype because it was not a popular. People see now people who are Indians, they know how big Shapurji Polaji is or Tata Group is in India, but the foreign investors didn't accept it the same way. And then there were delays during. You know why there were delays? Now Imperial Avenue is not built like typically how other developers are building. Why do you think projects are getting completed in 12 months' time? Because it's all prefabricated, right? In Imperial Avenue, it's actually built brick by brick. It's solid construction, man. So people don't realize this, the value, but the guys who invested in Imperial Avenue, when it's on handover, they'll get maximum, one of the top products in the market. They'll make phenomenal appreciation. The traffic is reduced. I think after an hour, the traffic reduces, right? I think it was a good live session. I enjoy these live sessions. You know, on YouTube, it's phenomenal. You know, I get such good questions, and I enjoy the process. You know, it's a good session. So, are we done? I always try to have a 2 hour session, but then let's do this again. Leverage. Who's this guy? Dun, 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 dun. Uh, in huh? Adil Khan. Okay, in Dubai, what is the life of building? If you assume is it at 50 years, what are the rules of rebuilding it? Oh my god, where did these questions come from? Wow. So I don't know if you know this, but recently Springs, Emaar actually offered all the owners that let's repaint if you have any construction requirements. So all the doors and the external structure is being repainted by free by IMA. So what are the rules of rebuilding it? I'm not fully sure if that's a really good question. I don't have an answer to it. I just know that okay, all these old properties, the developer goes back to the owners and they say, okay, you know what? Let's say if you need any refurbishment, let us know. We'll do the refurbishment. But apart from that, I'll have to look into the legalities. I don't have an answer to that question. It's very rare. I don't have an answer to a question, but that's actually a really good question. I have a vague answer. I don't want to give a vague answer because it's a legally sort of binding question. So I don't want to give a wrong answer to it. Insta stop here. And Meena Rashid is going to have $6.8 billion investment. Also, other places like Emaar, South, and others. Do you have some numbers on other projects? See, for example, Oasis is a $20 billion project. That's why I went on to investors saying, "Boom, this is." And see, when a government entity like Emaar comes across and says, "Okay, we're going to invest $20 billion," there is a plan in place. So yeah, and it's a plan that you can rely on. With the valley, I have to get back to the numbers. But when I studied the master plan of Ravana, I studied the master plan, the floor plan, the location in the entire. So there's a cluster map, right? So when I studied the location on the entire map, it seemed like a very good product. എടാ, ഞാനിപ്പോഴും ലൈവിലാണല്ലോ. ആണോ? It seemed like a very good product. But if you want specific numbers of the valley, I can always revert to you on that, like how much are they investing as such. But there's no, like I said, there's no unsuccessful EMA community. That hasn't happened before.
Actually, which is not the
Good evening, Rais. How are you? How are you? So I think Avi, I do want to stay for 2 hours today. I have my coffee ready. I have my meals planned. Everything done. But just checking. I'm here.
almost 2 hours.
Hiya.
6:30 something. 1.5 hour.
Hi. So I think we can, if there are no questions, we can wrap up in another 5 minutes. So any idea what's coming up on La Mer? Yeah, they did shut it down. La Mer, it's going to be a residential community. La Mer, it's sad. I really enjoyed La Mer. So I don't know if you've seen my Golden Bell video, where I showed how everything is shut down. Of course, they're going to build an entire seafront community. That entire belt, La Mer, Pearl Jumeirah, Mina Rashid, Maritime City, Dubai Islands. These five form the Golden Belt. It's an excellent investment opportunity. Um, how do you think about Sharjah as an investment? As they're also building good villa options. I don't know. See, for me, I of all these seven Emirates, I completely believe in Dubai. I don't understand Sharjah, Ajman, Abu Dhabi. I don't understand the market. Saudi is also booming, but I don't understand the market. Ras Al Khaimah, I've begun to look into Ras Al Khaimah only because of the casino. The casino is big. People don't realize the gravity of a casino because when a casino comes into a country, if you study the model of Singapore, if you study the model of even US for that matter, so from New York it's about 100 kilometers to Las Vegas. But just the fact Las Vegas was a game changer because all the Chinese investors they come in, and when they come in, it's a complete game changer. As of now, the Chinese sort of retracted, So when sort of Fidu came into the market in around 2016, 2017, they came at about $2 billion. But now they've sort of retracted. But if you can attract the Chinese again, it's a big game changer for the market. Can you make a living buying the A hotel condo? You can make, of course, you can make a living. For Airbnb, you make a living, right? So right now, I'm constantly saying a lady, but like she just makes just purely out of rental income. She's going to make close to, I don't know, 550,000 dirhams a year. Which is not bad. If you have 1.5 million in cash, where would you invest? 1.5 million dirhams in cash. Anwa 2. Will Emaar come up with a project in Ras Al Khaimah near the casino? I have no idea. Recently, there was a big plot sold over there. My friend sold it. So I keep getting plots, and there's this big villa community coming over there. It launched over there as well. Some of my investors picked up stock over there. I haven't had the time to study the project enough because I don't know. Dubai has been like back to back launches. I'm not getting this free space to just go to Ras Al Khaimah, sit down, study, and I can't explain anything before I complete my due diligence. So I'm trying to complete. Hmm. The Insta's not, but today in a funny way. Okay, Mohammed just me the question is: Emaar has recently launched many projects. Will it negatively affect the delivery date or the quality of construction? See, Mr. Jasmi, Emaar is a giant. Now, if you just one cluster of oasis, 300 villas, each villa was sold between 8 to 10 million. They they did a soft launch, right? Because technically the launch was in July. They did a soft launch and the product sold out in a matter of I think 4 hours. Emaar literally called all of us and said, "Don't accept any more checks. We're done. We're full. We're overbooked." So they made 3,000 million in 4 hours. They have no cash flow issue. Why would they make a substandard product? They are running on reputation. So they built the Burj Khalifa. I mean, they built it. We're not talking about it anymore, right? They built it. They built Dubai Marina. They they built Dubai Hills. So they will build another phenomenal product. I think they deserve that respect because they've earned the respect, the reputation. Some products have been a bit disappointing. I agree. The ones that handed over in 21, 22. I was disappointed with Opera Grand a bit. I was disappointed with Burj Royal. I was disappointed with the few products in Creek Harbor. Few products, but they have taken that feedback into account, and now they're back in the game. Why does why does every developer launch every week, including private developers? Is it the fear of the so-said recession? No, it's the demand, Mr. Mahmood. It's the demand. Right now, the population of Dubai is 3.5 million, but the rate at which the foreign have you noticed that the number of white folks in town is increasing by the day? Everyone's coming to Dubai, and these are all end users, brother. It's not investors anymore. These people are coming to stay. So there is a lack of good quality housing in Dubai. There is an undersupply. So there's no oversupply of property, guys. The population of Dubai is going to double. As of now, we're at 3.5 million. By 2040, the population is going to double. You're not going to find many empty houses unless the house is really bad. But Dubai Hills is 100% occupancy. 100% occupancy. It's one of the most expensive places in Dubai. 100%. I had a Swiss footballer who couldn't get a house, and this guy, every time he signs a contract, he signs it for $2.5 million. Every time he signs, and he plays for the local football team. He couldn't get a house in Dubai Hills, So it's there is a requirement for high end, good quality housing. Vista Heights, Creek Vista Heights. Should hold or sell and buy more. Which floor? I don't know. Do you have the Burj view? Is it a high floor, full Burj view? And see now, okay. So Creative Solutions has asked a good question. Creek Vista Heights, Shobha, hold or sell and buy Emaar. See now, Shobha has in recent times released these floor plans. It's like around a one bed around 500 square foot. It's not going to fly. And the price was they're like, okay, it's 1.1 million, but it's 500 square foot. So Floor plan at the end of the day matters. When you're handing over the property, or you're trying to Airbnb it or rent it, you need space. So I like Creek Vista Heights. It was really tall building in the whole of Heartland. It's nice. I don't like Heartland itself as a community because I don't think the infrastructure is ready there again. I mean, even if you want to go grocery shopping, you can drive all the way to Maidan to the Spinneys over there. So, but it's not easy to exit the investment either. 45 plus floor, corner unit, community facing. Okay. So it's not Burge view, it's community view. So if you can sell it, great, because see, you bought it at a high price. You bought it at 2,000 rupees per square foot. If you can sell it, why not? Sell it, invest in Emaar, of course. Because see, Heartland is right next to Azizi Riviera. We're looking at 13,000 apartments handing over. It's an oversupply, and just being honest, it's not of the highest quality. So it is going to impact. It's going to impact Heartland as a market. So the infrastructure is not, unfortunately, is not there yet. It's not there yet. So if we can exit would be hard. But if we can exit, of course, consider Emaar. Emaar is the safest investment, hands down. In Dubai, Emaar is the safest investment. Jebel is no infrastructure now. Do you think it is wise to invest in that area? On the other hand, D33 mentioned Emaar South has to contribute 35% of the GDP. Not sure how long it will take. Yeah, that's the thing. Somebody asked me earlier as well, like Jebel Ali, Palm Jebel Ali, will it impact Emaar South? I'm like, I don't know. So I gave the example of Palm Jumeirah. Just because Palm Jumeirah happened, how much will it impact Dubai Marina? Dubai Marina stood on its own. Next to Dubai Marina, there's JLT. Then parallel to it, there's Greens, there's TCOM, there's Parsha. You can Every community has to be analyzed individually. You cannot compare Palm Jebel Ali and Jebel Ali Hills. You cannot compare it. It's not oh, okay, because of that project. In some cases, like for example, downtown Business Bay, yes, it directly impacts. Yes, those are very very rare case scenarios. Since it's very hot in this, okay, by Jamal Turner, since it's very hot in the summer, do less people visit or invest around that time? It's hot. It is really hot outside, but people are still investing. I've never seen. So it's funny. Every year I get this. Oh, it's going to be summers. It's going to be Eid. People are not. The phones don't stop, my friend. The phones don't stop. Nothing is stopping investment in Dubai. As of now, it's on the upward trend. Do you know if there's a possibility for the mortgage for non-residents, especially for non-completed projects? No, it's tough. Now, unfortunately, residents can get, once the property is 50% complete. For non-residents, you will have to wait till the project, you get the completion certificate for the project. How much rent can we expect for a one bedroom in Creek Harbor, short term and long term? See, as you know, the rents are low depending on which unit. What's the view? Is it community view? Is it bird view? So depending on the product, because and some, for example, the north side, the creek side, had larger layouts. At the same time, Creek Rise didn't have much larger layouts. Icon Icon Bay had beautiful view. So depending on the view floor plan, we can send you an estimate. It's 2 hours. 7 o'clock. 7. Guys, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this session. I've been here for almost 1.5 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours. So I tried a time in a day, 120. So it's been okay. Can you quickly reveal the upcoming 7 more? No. Is it Kevin? Is it the Kevin? Is it Kevin? Kevin? Are you Kevin? I mean, what, from Japan? Kevin, is it you? I won't reveal it to you also, but it'll be nice to say hi. There are some communities in the Dubai where Etihad Railway track is quite near. This may not be suitable. How will that impact those communities, especially when passenger railway is expected to run? Isn't it a good thing? For example, in the valley, actually, it's close by to the Etihad Railway. Isn't it nice? You get access to like all the seven Emirates. I think that's a positive. It's a positive. You have to be concerned if when the airport is near. If because I'm worried about, let's say, like for example, Murdiff, one of the major complaints is like that can be concerned. Trains are like silent, man. Metros and trains are nice. For example, I was in one of these properties in Furjan, where I'm right in front of the metro station. You wouldn't even hear it, but it's so nice to actually watch. It's really nice to watch. No, that is not going to impact now. Mm-mm. Okay, so wait for the seven amazing new projects coming up in Dubai. It's going to be quite exciting. Thank you guys. I always enjoy the live sessions. It's so much of fun. Um, it's a refresher session for me. But thank you so much. Thank you for all the love, the support. Really means a lot. And I shall continue being amazing and providing all information. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.